Okay, cool. Thank you for being here. Um, so happy to see each of you. And okay, so today when I was trying to figure out like what to theme class on, I couldn't settle on like one person. I'm not even really sure what I was trying to figure out, but I'm gonna read a little bit from each of the texts that I consulted. Um, So I looked at because they're all kind of talking about the same thing, but they have different perspectives. So this is the Wisdom of Insecurity by Alan Watts, and basically I've been trying to figure out. I mean, it's a lifelong question. Like, what is gonna like make us happy? Like, why are there so many like problems and all this stuff? And it just like gets my mind like reeling. And so this is Alan Watts' take. Human desire tends to be insatiable. We are so anxious for pleasure that we can never get enough of it. We stimulate our sense organs until they become insensitive, so that if pleasure is to continue, they must have stronger and stronger stimulus. The brain is in pursuit of happiness, and because the brain is much more concerned about the future than the present, it conceives happiness as the guarantee of an indefinitely long future of pleasures. So he's saying that we're just fixated on the future and constantly seeking stimulus, and it's just never satiated. It's just an appetite that never goes away. And then I also I flipped through underlining books is like the best thing. James Baldwin, The Fire Next Time. And oh no, where did it go? Here we go. The word sensual is not intended to bring the mind quivering dusky maidens or Priya pick black studs. I'm referring to something much simpler and much less fanciful. To be sensual, I think, is to respect and rejoice in the force of life itself, to be present in all that one does, from the effort of loving to the breaking of bread. So alluding to the presentness, which is so hard to do. It's so challenging to be present. But yeah, here's like another person alluding to this concept. And then they both talked about pleasure. And so I was like, okay, well, shoot, now I'm going to have to look at Pleasure Activism by Adrienne Maree Brown. And pleasure activism is not about generating or indulging in excess. Pleasure activism is about learning what is meant to be satisfiable, to generate from within and from between us an abundance from which we can all have enough. And the erotic is a resource within each of us that lies in a deeply female and spiritual plane, firmly rooted in the power of our unexpressed or unrecognized feeling. The erotic is a measure between the beginning of our sense of self and the chaos of our strongest feelings. It is an internal sense of satisfaction to which, once we've experienced it, we know we can aspire. For having experienced the fullness of this depth of feeling and recognized its power, in honor of self-respect, we can require no less of ourselves. And she goes to say the very word erotic comes from the Greek word eros, the personification of love in all aspects, born of chaos and personifying creative power and harmony. When I speak of the erotic, then, I speak of an assertion of the life force of women, of that creative energy empowered, the knowledge and use of which we are now reclaiming in our language, our history, our dancing, our loving, and our work of lives. And so each of these people is talking about different things, and they have different approaches to thinking about the present and even pleasure and how we indulge in day-to-day living. So that is kind of a lot, and maybe that's just kind of the collective energy right now, is there's just kind of a lot going on, and there are a lot of aspects and perspectives to consider. But I think that it is valuable to take in, especially like these perspectives of such great minds, and use them as tools to help us get through the day and our practice. And I hope I didn't go on forever. Cool. We are at the 5-minute mark, which is perfect. And I wanted, before we enter into practice, to chant Om. And I chant Om to connect us to resonant sound, vibration, and to kind of clear any energetic dust that may just be still lingering in us, just kind of kick that up. And I feel like the Om kind of helps clear that away. So we'll do 1 clearing breath and 3 rounds of Om. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth, HA. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth, HA. Okay, let's do 3 rounds of Om now. Inhale in. Inhale, breathe in. And exhale, release the breath out. And I think Apollo is actually an affirmation that chanting is a powerful force. Like, it's definitely creating resonance within him that he finds impactful. 1 second, I've got to. But I also don't want to stop oming just because of Apollo. Okay, so let's start today on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet to touch. If you want to create some support for underneath your knees, you're welcome to do that. And also welcome to take a generous distance in between your heels and your pelvis. You can bring 1 hand to your heart, 1 hand to your belly, and take in any sensations there are to take in. Maybe there's a coolness in the air. Maybe there's a soft noise far away or nearby. It could be the texture of the clothing that you're in. Just noticing the physical sensations. And then with this awareness, directing it towards your breath. And I've realized I've come to rely pretty heavily on my breath as a tool for meditation. I was asked to focus on my heartbeat the other day, and I was like, what? My heartbeat? Like, all I can feel is my breath. And that's okay. You can tune into the breath if you feel the beat of your heart as well. They are collaborating, coexisting in the same sphere. And then finding the mind. And this was the last book that I looked at before class. It's by the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. And in the Katha Upanishad, the body is described as the chariot. The mind is the reins. The intellect is the charioteer. And the senses are the horses. And the object of the senses is the road. The self is the rider seated in the chariot. Unless the rider has understanding and can make the charioteer control his horses, he can never attain the goal. But the senses, like vicious steeds, will drag him where they please and may even destroy him. So thinking about the senses as horses is like such an impactful metaphor. So if the senses draw you out of your practice, which they likely will, it's kind of fun to maybe think of it like a horse, though, kind of pulling you off your track, and like you can be like, okay, no, I got this, like redirecting it back. And so practicing this sense of awareness in the time that we have together, and then hopefully kind of initiating that spark and letting it bring it with you throughout your practice and your day. And from here, you close the knees like you would close a book. Bring the knees in towards your chest. You can roll on the flat part of your back for a moment. And then you can either rock and roll up to a seat or kind of flip off to one side. And we'll actually meet in tabletop Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and finding a sense of neutrality in the spine. And take any movement that you need to really set this up, any fidgets, and we'll flow through cat and cow. Inhale for cow pose, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, cat pose, press the palms into the mat, round the belly, and continue. Inhale, cow pose, tail up, gaze up, chest up. And exhale, cat pose, press round, dome, and tuck. And continuing, inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. And today, you're welcome to do any free movement. I'm going to give the offering of adding kind of a wrist variation. If you would like to spin the left fingertips kind of back towards your knee, you can keep the right fingertips forward and experiment with flexion extension this way. I feel like I have to move a lot slower and more intentionally when my wrist is involved in this way. And I kind of pull the range of my motion back. And my spine, that is. And then switching, sending your right fingertips back towards your knee. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. And for this, you're welcome to just keep cat-cow. You're welcome to keep doing what we had just been doing. Or if you want to experiment with bringing the top of your hand onto your mat. And for this, like, I have to just be gentle. I can't really flow through cat and cow. And just take little gentle orbits with, I'm using my whole torso to move around my wrist, just moving ever so gently. And then alternating, this time bringing the right hand, the top of the hand onto the mat. And just doing gentle movements. If you're experiencing any pain, definitely don't persevere through the pain. This is not the intention here. But just noticing, like, I never do this with my wrists, so it does create a bit more challenge. And that's okay. So planting the palm back down, you may want to pop back onto your heels really quick, sinking the hips over the heels and just kind of roll your hands out. And that was like a lot of intensity in the wrists. And then coming back to tabletop. Inhale, tuck under your toes. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Setting the hips high, the heels low. You can bend one knee, the other knee, walking out the dog. Rooting through each knuckle mound, especially thumb and index finger. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. And exhale, bend your knees a lot. And feel the tailbone flaring up towards the ceiling. And with your awareness, trace the tailbone moving down your spine, passing near your heart and your lungs, passing through the neck, coming through the crown of the head. And then actively your arms pressing into the mat too. And keeping with the sensation of lengthening of the vertebrae and the tailbone flaring, you can slowly let the heels drift down, but really connecting with that sensation and keeping the lengthening sensation with you throughout the rest of your practice. And coming back to the breath, inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front. And exhale, move there, forward fold, ragdoll, uttanasana. You can really invite a generous bend in your knees so the chest is spilling over your legs. And let the weight of your head hang heavy, collaborating with the force of gravity. And you can choose any hand grip that is going to be most appropriate for you today. It can be interweaving the fingers at the base of the spine, or grasping for opposite elbow, or interweaving the fingers at the nape of the neck. And I say lots of options, not to kind of, not to give a lack of guide, but to really give options and to know that, like, this is your practice, and likely each of us are going to be craving a different thing. And yes, I'm here to guide you through the practice, and I want to do that. But I also want to help engage our relationship with our bodies and
what they're asking for and what their needs are. That's a huge part of why I teach yoga. And then choosing to either to heel your feet to touch or to leave a little bit of distance in between your feet to find some structure and stability. I put my cat in the bedroom. He's making like all sorts of crazy noises. I gotta go let him out. I'm afraid he was gonna destroy our door if I left it like that. So finding your feet for Samasthiti and slowly beginning to unfurl your spine and come to standing. And when you get to the top, it may feel nice to roll your shoulder blades back a few times. And then to find center, this point of intrinsic equilibrium in our bodies, knowing that there is this slight orbit that we're always on. I always want to use the word centripetal force because that is what we're doing. We're like pendulating towards center, always finding the center point, similar to, there's so many different systems that circle, including the solar system. And finding that point of center and knowing that you can return to it at any point throughout class. And you can try to find this center of awareness in any of the poses. And at this point in class, I like to leave space to set intention. And your intention can be to be at attention and practice this awareness and to notice the sensations like horses pulling you out of your practice. And knowing that with time and practice and this discipline, we can hopefully have a little bit more control over where the mind goes, and also releasing any expectation, because that's a really challenging practice. And I've been at it for years and I still feel like I'm like at the tip of the iceberg. Like there's a lot of ice to be chiseled down, if you will. So thinking about what you're trying to attract into your life, it can be an I am and I have statement. It can be something you've been cultivating for a year now. Inhale, breathe that in. And exhale, release it out, HA. You can choose to keep the eyes closed or to flutter them open. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the arms up. And pause here, pressing the feet into the mat. This may engage your legs. You can also tap into the bandhas here. Uddiyana Bandha, belly button back towards the spine, and Mula Bandha, contraction of your pelvic floor, engaging these locks and seal how your body is playing with the atmospheric pressure in the room and relaxing your shoulders. Inhale to find length. And exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend, shine your sternum up, broaden through the collarbones, the clavicle. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the arms up. Exhale, keep them up, relax the shoulders down. And we are going to do a little side body stretching. I love doing this at the beginning of class. Inhale to find length. And with the right hand, grab the left wrist. Inhale to find length again. And exhale, side body bend towards the right. Yes, lateral flexion, compression on the right, lengthening on the left. And noticing even being here for just a few seconds, how it changes. Inhale, come back to center. Switch the grip of your hands. And then exhale, side body bend towards the left this time. And maybe trying to feel both tips of your hip, the iliac crest. And then also trying to sense the ribs and then that soft space in between the tip of your hip and the ribs, and how that's being experienced on both the left and the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend, shine the sternum up. If it feels safe in the neck, let it drop back. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen the spine. Exhale, top of a push-up, Dandasana, staff pose. Option to come down to knees or forearms. But staying for a moment and being with the challenge of this pose. It's physically really challenging. And that's something I've become very aware of this year, is when I'm found when I find myself in something that's physically challenging, I just want to stop. I don't want to do it anymore. And so knowing that you are capable of being here, and it's not easy and it's intense,
but also this is an impermanent experience and it's going to shift soon. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Flatten the tops of the feet to the mat and keep the arms near your ribs. And we'll flow through 3 rounds of cobra. Inhale, cobra pose, bhujangasana, lift your head, neck, and chest. And exhale to lower, lengthen back down. Inhale, cobra pose, bhujangasana, lift the head, neck, and chest, little to no weight in the hands, pressing the tops of the feet, the pelvis into the mat. And exhale to lower, back down. And last time through, you can choose to tent to fingertips, pointing the elbows up towards the ceiling. Inhale, cobra pose, bhujangasana, lift the head, neck, and chest. And exhale to lower, coming back to the belly. And I know I said 3 times, but actually let's do it one more time. I've been thinking about lately how like the adrenals are right near your kidneys, which is like right in the lumbar spine, which is like really what we're accessing in a lot of back bends. And especially if you tented to fingers, we're definitely like getting into compression of that area. And when we're in a state of when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, like it's releasing adrenaline and cortisol from that area. And so just like noticing like when you're engaging with that relationship, what it's like. Inhale, cobra pose, bhujangasana. And exhale to lower. It might feel really nice because you're kind of giving it a little massage. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, press back downward facing dog. It may not, it may be activating, but just all your job is to do is to notice what's going on. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front of your mat. Exhale, move there, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, rise with your breath, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And I should pause. Inhale, upward facing dog. This is the first time we've been here. So pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Legs are lifted and engaged. Heart is shining forward. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. And I know everyone here has practiced plenty of yoga classes and they know that this is their practice and your version of up dog to down dog is really how you want to practice it. You can practice with the knees down. You can practice by hanging out in forearm plank. You can practice by not doing it at all. And it can change as the class evolves. So really listening to what your body is asking and doing it. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, move there, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, rise with your breath. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga, skip. Flow your version of up to down. And we'll meet back. Downward facing dog. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. And we started class today in Supta Baddha Konasana. If there's any point in class where you want to come back to that pose or child's pose, you're welcome to do that. Rekindle your breath, come back to your intention. Like that is most important part of our yoga practice. Being in that sense of awareness. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, move there, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, fold.
Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair, plugging the weight into your hips, your heels, feeling the curvature of the lower back. Arms can be out in front of you, arms can be at heart center. And lifting the sternum. I sometimes imagine just like a little string pulling the heart forward. Inhale here. Exhale, release, forward fold. Let that go. Inhale, halfway lift, reset. Exhale, chaturanga, or skip, or do your version of up to down. And we'll be back in downward facing dog. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, AHA out of the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend right leg behind you. Exhale, scorpion dog. Right hip over left hip. You're welcome to do really anything here. If you want to roll the ankle around, if you want to roll the thigh bone in the ball and socket joint that is your hip, maybe you go clockwise, counterclockwise, directing some attention just to your foundation, also noticing the foot that is planted, if the heel is lifted, if it's sinking down, if you're planting into the hands, if there's stability there. So just noticing what's going on, how the weight has shifted from left to right. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through low lunge. And if you have to pick up the foot to get it up there, that's okay. And we're gonna flow through cat and cow lunges. If you wanna grab blocks or tend to fingers, now is a good time to do that. Inhale, cow lunge. Dip the back knee, shine your chest forward. Exhale, cat lunge. Rock your hips back, work towards straightening that front leg. Rounding through the cervical spine, the neck. You can even tuck the chin. And that front leg never has to be all the way straight. It's just working towards straightening. Noticing what the sensation is like in the belly of your hamstrings. What is it like in each leg? And we'll continue to flow. Inhale, cow lunge. Dip your back knee, shine your chest. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, drop your back knee down to the mat, untuck your toes. And inhale for this grounded form of crescent, sometimes called crescent moon. Biceps are framing the ear. But also I always hesitate to give that cue because it makes me like lift my arms up when really the shoulders kind of need to be relaxed down. Inhale to find length. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you and press your chest forward. Legs are staying the same. And we'll flow breath to movement. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, press the arms behind, chest comes forward. Last time through, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep them behind. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, hands through heart center this time. Inhale to find length. And exhale, prayer twist towards the right. Left elbow comes outside of right knee. And using this point of contact to really leverage your twist. And feeling the right rib spin over, left ribs under. And the ribs are a very structured way to feel the twist, but also noticing the twist in the soft part of your belly, how it's affecting your hips also. And this next transition we're going to do is a tough one. So just giving yourself the mental space to know this is challenging. So here we go. Inhale, tuck under the back toe. Exhale, engage your back leg, lift it. Ooh. And then we're gonna open to an open twist. And if you kind of stumble your way there, that is okay. Inhale, open twist. Oh my God, why? Right arm back, left arm forward, right ribs under, left ribs over. Inhale here. Exhale, come to crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, switching the torso towards the front. Inhale to find length. Exhale, spin the back heel down, open up to warrior two. Broadening through the chest, through the collarbones. Gaze can be over your middle finger. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right arm down,
left arm up. And you may even want to bump that back leg a little bit closer. You can bring your hands onto your hips to find relationship with what the hips are doing. You can bring your hands onto your chest, feeling the left ribs over, right ribs under. Gaze can be up if the neck allows. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. And exhale, parallel your feet, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita, Padottanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, horse pose, hands through heart center, bend your knees. Check to make sure the ankles are underneath your knees and you can feel that gliding sensation. Knee over ankle, getting into the adductors, the thighs. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, horse bend, hands through heart center. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, bend the knees, hands through heart center. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. And exhale, warrior two towards the back of your mat. So switching the orientation, adjusting this direction. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. Right heel is strike down 40, 60 degrees. You can flip the palms up and flip them back down. It always helps me bring some awareness into my arms. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Right arm down, left arm up, stretching through the side body, the obliques, keeping a deep bend in your front knee. And exhale, cartwheel your arms and flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale in through the nose. And let's do lion's breath, tongue out, HA. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath, HA. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Noticing what it's like to alternate between Ujjayi and a breath that's kind of more seated and releasing. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend right leg behind. Exhale, step it through. Low lunge, feet are on separate tracks. And giving yourself the time to set up your foundation. There's no rush here. Inhale, crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana, chest lifts. Arms sweep up. And I've been teaching a lot of warrior poses. I feel like I actually haven't taught crescent lunge in a long time. But it is a challenging posture because the left ankle is elevated, it's lifted, and it's definitely a balance posture also. So feeling where you're creating strength in the ankles. Inhale here. And exhale, warrior two, spin the back heel down, opening through the arms, expanding. We've already been here a couple times, so maybe now tapping into the energetic qualities of a warrior, like determination, strength. And it could be compassion, like what does a warrior embody to you? Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. And exhale, warrior one to the front. So shifting forward, striking the back heel down, and giving yourself the time to set this up. Left thigh bone bumps back into left hip socket. This may bump right hip forward. And arms are lifted and engaged. Inhale to find length in your spine. And exhale to sweep the arms behind you and press your chest forward. Inhale, shift your weight into the left leg. And exhale, come into one-legged Tadasana. Right leg lifts. And if you have to kind of touch down on your way there, that is totally okay. But rooting through the left foot, right thigh is parallel to the floor. And finding stability here, finding samasthiti here. How can you make your connection to the earth feel more grounded, more stabilized? Inhale here. Option to stay or option to exhale, figure four, right ankle on top of left thigh, hands to heart center. And sometimes I wonder if the option to stay in one-legged Tadasana, because sometimes I actually think that this is easier because it's kind of like a squat. Feels like I'm kind of more in a center of gravity It's less of a balance challenge, but each body is different. So you'll have to tell me what you think at the end of class. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts. And exhale, plant the right foot down and let both hands come down. Samastiti. And Samastiti is like the coming back to zero, coming back to the beginning, finding that center. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Utkatasana. Hands coming either through heart center, they can be out in front of you, whatever feels most appropriate in your practice. And turning towards the intensity, just like we do in Dandasana staff pose. Inhale here. Exhale, release, forward fold, let that go. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. And exhale, chaturanga, flowing your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale in through the nose. Do HA, exhale out of the mouth. We'll do one more like that. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA. And just noticing, thinking of those distractions in the senses, like the horses, like which horse just like broke from the reins and is like way out in the field, like eating grass, and you're like, oh shit, now I gotta go get that horse. And maybe you can persevere without that horse. Like, I don't know. I'm working with this metaphor here. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach, extend left leg behind. Exhale, scorpion dog, left hip over right. Noticing how the weight distribution is perhaps shifted in your hands. If you want to readjust how the weight has shifted, maybe how it's shifted is good. You can take infinity loops, going clockwise, counterclockwise. Maybe you roll through the ankle. You may hear some cracks and pops. That's okay. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend. Exhale, step it through for low lunge. To pick it up, that's okay. And then we'll flow through cat and cow lunges on this side. I really love the blocks for cat and cow lunges. You can also tent to fingers by getting yourself situated, all set up, and then we'll flow. Inhale, cow lunge, dip your back knee, shine your chest. And exhale, cat lunge, rock your hips back, work towards straightening that front leg and rounding through the curvature in your spine, letting the head hang. Noticing the sensations going on within the body, noticing what is loud, noticing what is much softer. You almost have to direct your awareness there even to notice it's going on. And then we'll continue. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. And exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, drop the back knee down. Untuck your toes. And inhale for this grounded form of crescent, sweeping the arms up. And pausing to feel the compression on the left side, the lengthening on your right, the psoas, the hip flexors here, the quads, all the sensations going on in the legs. And yes, we can focus on a certain muscle, kind of isolate, but they're really all connected also. So feeling it and knowing that the body is a lot like a wetsuit. They're all connected, moving together. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, press your chest forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up like a goalpost. And exhale, sweep behind. And one more, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms behind. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale to find length. And exhale, prayer twist towards the left, bringing right elbow outside of left knee. And again, really pressing the elbow into the leg and then using that pressure to create
leverage to twist. Left ribs are spinning over, right ribs are coming under. And also noticing the pressure you're applying with your hands also here. Trying to relax the face, unfurrow the brow. Inhale here. Exhale here. And here's this, I want to call it a cruel transition because it kind of is. Inhale, tuck under the back leg. When I did it earlier, I was like, this is a great idea. Exhale, engage your back leg. And it's okay if we kind of fumble through this. Inhale, open twist, left arm back, right arm forward. Woo-hoo. And exhale, come to crescent lunge. This is so hard to keep the left knee bent. Inhale here. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Acknowledging the discomfort, turning towards it. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Woo. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left arm down, right arm up. Right ribs over, left under. Noticing the elevation of your heartbeat. Oftentimes when I put together sequences, I flow them kind of quickly. And I forgot today how much setting up, for setting that up, that was rough. Ooh, I thought that was hard. So turning towards it and also noticing the habitual patterns. I thought that was challenging. I wanted to get out of it. So knowing that it's present. Okay. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale to fold. And from here, we're going to come, ooh, time is going by. We're going to come into a Malasana squat. So sinking the hips down and bringing hands to touch at heart center. If the heels do not come down, oftentimes it has to do with like how the ligaments and joints are set up in your feet. So like, don't worry if the heels aren't touching the ground. You can also sit on a block here. Ooh, yeah, that is nice. Finding length in the spine and coming back to that sense of centeredness. Samasthiti, how can you find it here? Finding strength and ease simultaneously. And we'll come back into a wide-legged forward fold. Adjusting your feet as necessary. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior two towards the back. Strike the back heel down, open, broaden. Right knee is tracking towards the outside of your pinky toe and tapping into the strength this pose invokes. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, left arm down, right arm up, stretching through the side body, the obliques. And exhale, cartwheel your arms and flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog, or you can skip it all together. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA out of the mouth. Let's do lion's breath, tongue out next. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA. Seal the lips, inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your nose. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach, extend, left leg behind. Exhale, step it through, low lunge, feet are on separate tracks, and taking a moment to really feel grounded in your foundation. And inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts, pressing through the ball mount of your back foot, maybe even inviting the back ankle, the right ankle to push forward. Ooh, how does that shift the balance? Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior one, shifting towards the front. And that's a big shift and transition. So if you need to really scooch and take your time to set it up, that is okay. Right thigh bone comes back into the right hip socket. Your left hip is bumping forward. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Press your chest forward. Inhale, shift your weight into your right foot this time. And exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Left leg lifts. Left thighs parallel to the floor. And option to be here and practice this. Really, this is a huge balance challenge. So you're not opting out of anything by staying here. Inhale here.
And exhale, figure 4, left ankle on top of right thigh. You can bring hands through heart center, accessing the same intention of Utkatasana, tail is flaring, chest is lifting. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, left leg lifts. Exhale, Samastiti, arms come down. And taking a moment to calibrate. Where has the breath gone? Noticing how the heart rate has changed. Can you feel the rhythm of your heart simultaneously with the breath? Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, hinge the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So we are going to do a flow breath movement, both sides, one time through. And then we're going to switch into the more yin side of things. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, right leg lifts, reach, extend right leg behind. Exhale, scorpion dog, right hip over left. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend. Exhale, step it through, low lunge, feeling your foundation. Inhale, cow lunge, dip your back knee, shine your chest. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, drop your back knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, lift your chest, grounded crescent. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, press your chest forward. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, revolved crescent lunge. Left elbow comes to outside of your right knee. Inhale to revolve. Exhale, find length in your spine. Inhale to tuck under the back toes. Exhale to engage your back leg. Inhale, open twist, right arm back, left arm forward. Exhale, come to crescent lunge. Inhale to find length here. Exhale, warrior two, spin the back heel down, open, broaden. Inhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right leg straightens, right arm comes down, left arm goes up. Feeling the twist and the turn in your torso, the heightening from the activation of the right leg being bent, now being straight. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, horse pose, bend your knees, shift your feet, facing the horizontal side of your mat. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, horse, bend, hands through heart center. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior two towards the back of your mat, opening, expanding. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, right arm down, left up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms and flow your version of high to low. Or skip, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Coming back to the breath, inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. This sequence is a pretty lengthy sun beat, so giving yourself credit for doing this, and also giving yourself credit if you know you need to rest. Like, that's listening to your body. That is awesome. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. All right, right side, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Feeling your foundation, feeling grounded. Inhale, crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana, arms up, chestless. Exhale, warrior two, open. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior one to the front. Giving yourself the time to set up your foundation. It may involve some feet scooching. Inhale to find length in your spine. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, press your chest forward. Inhale, shift the weight into the left leg. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts. Whew. Inhale here. Exhale, figure four, right ankle on top of left thigh, hands through heart center. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts. Exhale, plant the foot down, let the arms come down. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana.
Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, or choose to skip, or take any version you need to. And we'll meet back in down dog. Right, this is the last time on the left side. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach, extend, left leg behind. Exhale, scorpion dog, left over right. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach, extend. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Feet are on separate tracks. Inhale, cow lunge, dip your back knee, shine your chest forward. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, drop your back knee down, untuck your toes. Inhale, grounded crescent, sweep the arms up, lift your chest. Exhale, sweep the arms behind, press your chest forward. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, revolved crescent towards the left, right elbow outside of left knee. Really using that point of contact to leverage your twist. Left ribs over, right ribs under. Inhale, engage your back toe. Exhale, engage the back leg. Ooh. Inhale, open twist, left arm back, right arm forward. Exhale, come to center, crescent lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Woo. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left arm down, right arm up. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior two towards the back of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, left arm down, right arm up, stretching through side body, the obliques. And exhale, cartwheel your arms, flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, out through the mouth, HA. Lion's breath, inhale in through the nose. Exhale, HA. This time, seal your lips. Last time. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach, extend, left leg behind. Exhale, step it through, low lunge, feet are on separate tracks. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior one to the front. Shift your orientation. Give yourself the time. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the arms behind, press chest forward. Inhale, shift the weight into the right leg. Exhale, come into one-legged Tadasana. And to get there, if you have to touch down and then pop back up, that is totally okay. Inhale here. Option to stay or option to figure four, right ankle on top of right thigh, hands through heart center. You're doing awesome. This is it. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, left leg lifts. Exhale, come back to center, Samastiti. Let all of that go. Inhale here. Sweep your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, hinge the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, reset, last chaturanga if you want to take it. Exhale to lower. Inhale, upward or cobra. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. So this is a 70-minute class, but if you only have 60 minutes, there are approximately 5 minutes left of this class. So if you want to come onto your back, if you have to go in 60 minutes, do a twist and Shavasana, and that would be a good time to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to lead us through some calmer poses. And I think half pigeon has our name on it. So inhale, right leg lifts, reach, extend right leg behind. Exhale, half pigeon, bring right ankle behind right wrist. Untuck the back toes, drop the back knee down. You're always welcome to take half pigeon on your back in a figure four position.
And giving yourself the time to really set this up. Maybe you need to find support to put under your right glute. Maybe feeling into the gentle back bend, kind of puffing through the chest like a pigeon would. And then slowly lowering the chest down, coming into half pigeon. Forehead can come to forearms. You can also take a version of half pigeon with thread the needle. You can create kind of a window with your right arm. And with the left arm, put the left hand in that window, bring the left cheek to that mat. Depending on the day, I either love this stretch or I'm like, why would I ever do that? So if you get here and you're like, like feel free to reroute, redirect back. This may not be for you today. I just like to give it as an option because sometimes it's like very, very excellent. And then settling into half pigeon. And we will be here for a little bit of time. So maybe pulling your edge back if you need to, not going the full range of motion. So you can be here for a little bit of time. And in this practice, in vinyasa, there's a moment where we kind of set up our foundation and we're really building the sequence and the transitions. And then we have the opportunity to flow, breath, movement, sometimes tapping into a sense of fluidity, sometimes feeling clunky during that fluid moment. And that also is an okay part of the practice, just to observe and to witness. But either way, kind of kicking up this cultivating this energetic fierceness, and maybe kicking up some dust too. And then we have time to let the dust settle in this yin part of class. And I found after a lot of physical exertion, it tends to be a little bit easier for the mind to settle. So maybe at this point in class, the horse is not running off into the field. The horse is like getting distracted by like the daisy that it wants to eat on the floor. And it's like, that's not too far away. Maybe I'll lay down. And you're like, no, horse, like get back up. Or, maybe you do want to lay down with the horse, the distraction, and rest the chariot. That's the direction you're headed. Noticing in the quiet if you crave to fill it with sound. I know just now I craved sound when I gave that silence. And just noticing that, not judging it. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't need to be fixed. Knowing that when we do give ourselves the time to slow down and to be in stillness, sometimes there may be something that surfaces. It may be a physical sensation telling you to like back off. It may also be an emotional release. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can experience this, and I want to validate all of them and acknowledge that is part of turning towards the language of our body, is being with those experiences, be they pleasant or unpleasant. And a lot of meditation teachers will ask you to label them, put them in pleasure, pain categories, which is sometimes effective. I really like giving it space, letting it exist, giving it the space to exist. But also you get to decide like the size of the space it takes up, if you will. There can be other elements in the experience. And then walking the hands back towards center. And if you had 60 minutes, this is the 60-minute marker. I really appreciate you being here if you did have to go. I know some people have like a 60-minute kind of lunch thing going on. Inhale to tuck under your back toe. Exhale, engage your back leg. And inhale, three-legged dog. Ooh, that was a long hold. So if you want to release verbally or with a sigh,
nobody else can hear, so it's kind of the benefit of being on Zoom. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, plant the right foot down, coming back into down dog. And then we'll do that on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach, extend, left leg behind. Exhale, half pigeon, bringing left knee behind left wrist, untucking the toes, bringing the foot down, leveling the hips, maybe popping through the chest, and then slowly lowering down. You're welcome to take that thread the needle version with the right hand this time, coming in between the left hand engaged and lengthened and the floor, bringing the right cheek to the mat. Maybe decide it's a different experience. Maybe you like that. Maybe you want to come back to half pigeon with arms extended. But cultivating that same soft gentleness in not only how you're feeling and sensing your muscles and your tissues, but also how you're forming and threading the words of your narrative. And on this side, I'm going to just repeat that passage. I feel like it's so good. In the Katha Upanishad, the body is described as the chariot. The mind is the reins, and the intellect, the mind is the reins, the intellect is the charioteer, and the senses are the horses. So even here, they delineate between the mind and the senses, and the objects of the senses, their road. The self is the rider seated in the chariot. Unless the rider has understanding and can make the charioteer control his horses, he can never attain the goal. But the senses, like vicious steeds, will drag him where they please and may even destroy him. So the mind is the reins and the senses are the horses. And I've often found imagery like that can be really helpful for exploring kind of the framework of what's going on in the body. There's so many different ways to approach it. And I think ultimately that's kind of what I was trying to get at the beginning of class. So there's all these like revered scholars, and they all have a different approach. But there's also some commonality to it, like finding the simplicity of certain pleasures, not overindulging in them, but also really living from within and trusting that innate wisdom, and then trying to be present, not living so much for the future, which is really just sometimes the future, I think, gives us hope. So I don't want to totally reject the future, but not living in the future so much that we're not present in our day-to-day lives. And then walking the hands back towards center, lifting the chest, moving slow, tuck under the back toes, engage your back leg, lift the left leg up high, taking any counter movement, and then planting the left foot down, sinking on to the knees, letting the hips fall off towards one side, and we'll come into a forward fold. You're welcome to have the legs out in front of you, or you can bring the soles of the feet to touch, whatever is going to feel more interesting for you in your practice. If the soles of the feet are coming to touch, I invite you to bring a generous distance in between your pelvis and your heels. Removing the glutes out from underneath you, so you're sitting on your sits bone, Shield tuberosity, feeling the pelvic bowl kind of tilt down or the flare of your tail go out, and then fold forward. And if you have this generous distance in between your feet and your pelvis, you can really invite some rounding into the spine here. It doesn't have to be this lengthened extension. If the heels are pretty close to the pelvis, maybe keeping with that lengthening extension, but otherwise really surrendering into this. It doesn't have to be a mold of anything. any expectation or a mold of an image you saw in a magazine or like an article online. I think oftentimes people get caught up in the poses that you can do in yoga and that being able to do that, which is fun. It can be really fun. But I never want to get lost in that because I feel like really the true value of this practice comes from being in the body and having awareness. Helps generate a sense of compassion, and I think even collectivism. It's less of an individual practice. And then slowly begin to lift your chest, walk the hands back towards your hips, close the legs like you would close a book. Oh yeah, we did a lot of work into the hips. And then come to laying on your backs. Full seal clasp with a gentle supine twist and shavasana. Hug the knees in towards your chest, and we'll just do a gentle supine twist. Let the knees drop towards the left side. Right arm goes out like half of a T. Gaze can be up or gaze can be towards the right fingertips. And Neve said something nice about this pose once. She said, this pose is not about your knees touching the floor. It's not about your right shoulder touching the floor. It's like a gentle supine twist. So again, letting go of like what you think the pose has to be and engaging with the intention. And coming back to center, let the knees drop towards the right. Left arm goes out like half of a T. And gaze can be up or towards the left fingertips. And think of it like wringing out like a towel or a sponge. And then bring the knees back towards center, hug the knees towards your chest, and release into Shavasana, final rest, letting the limbs come down. You're welcome to take Shavasana on your side or on your belly. And I will let you know when it's time to come up and out of the practice. And today, as a point of focus, and if it feels comfortable and safe to you in your practice, just bringing the hands onto the chest and finding a place where you can feel the rhythm of your heart and also the movement of your breath. So you may have a hand on the belly so you can feel the rise and the fall. You may find a place on your chest. And you may test a few places to find that rhythm. And then finding comfort in that rhythm. That pulse is always there. You just have to look for it. And actually, when I first adopted Apollo, he used to meow until I held him. He was a kitten, a very small kitten, and he wouldn't not meow unless he was on my chest and he could feel my heart beating. And so even thinking like going that deep, like finding the comfort that even like a baby might find, because that's where it was in the womb. It could feel the beat of the heart. And slowly begin to invite movement back into your body, be it ever so slight, ever so small. Of course, you're always welcome to stay in Shavasana if you need more time here. You definitely earned it. You invite wiggling into the fingers, gentle bouncing of the shoulders, wiggling of your face even. Bring the arms above you like you would stretching. Bring the knees in towards your chest, hugging them in. And choose if you want to roll over onto the right side for more solar activity or the left side for more lunar receptivity and reflection, using the bicep like a pillow. And from here, generating gratitude for carving out the time to do this practice. It can be really hard to initiate, at least I found in my day-to-day existence, it can be hard to find the time. So giving yourself credit for doing this and practicing this and knowing that this work of cultivating awareness is so powerful, and it takes a lot of courageousness to really show up for it and to turn towards, I think, whatever that within that true self is, I think can be scary. So props to you for being here, and also extending a wave of gratitude from myself. I feel so lucky to be in community with the people that are here today, and also honoring the lineage of his practice going back to India with its roots in Hindu tradition, and books like the Bhagavad Gita, and the lineage of teachers like Swami Vivekananda. And there's a really long tradition there. And also honoring the ancestors of the land that we occupy. I occupy here unceded ancestral lands of the Coast Salish, Duwamish people, and really thinking about the traditions that they've kept alive and what we can learn from that wisdom, how we can honor the ancestors. It's not too late. And bringing the hands from heart center, or bringing the hands to me at heart center. In the Anjali Mudra gesture, it represents non-dualism. And I think we live in a world of dualism. It's like we're always thinking about the good and the bad, especially that I've been noticing, well, I'm a good person. It's like, I'm not a bad person, but it's like, is anybody good and bad? Then there's such, like, I think it's oversimplifying to do it like that. There's a very broad spectrum in between. So coming together of the oppositional forces and honoring the depth in between and the nuance. And then bringing hands from heart center to third eye, strengthening connection between your heart and your mind, and bowing forward to seal in your practice, honoring the luminous and the shadowy aspects. Peace and thank you.